if everyone can grab a seat, we're about to get the program started. All right, let's get this program started. Thank you everyone for coming to support Shafiq. Who's excited to get a new councilman in post 3? Yeah? All right. Well, again, my name is Ikram Ali Muhammad. I am an avid fan of everyone I've met here today and everyone else in this room. Everyone here is so motivational, so inspirational, and as Shafiq says, everyone here has ambition. I'm not going to be here to talk too much. I can do that down there after the program is done. But I'm here to just quickly introduce Shafiq, as well as some of his friends and community members that have worked with him throughout Johns Creek over the years. So 14 years ago, the Johns Creek community was blessed by a man named Shafiq Jadavji, and his jokes, his candor, his community work, and we felt his impact. Isn't that true, everyone? All right? Now, there's so much more I could say. I could talk about the programs that he was a part of, that he helped chair, that he helped lead, but I think the best people to do that are the people that were with him day in and day out, leading those programs with him. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just call up a few of his friends one at a time. They're going to tell you a little bit more about Shafiq. Everyone here has their own stories about him, and we can talk about that later. But what I'll do, I'll pass over the mic and let people talk about their experience of volunteering and engaging the community with our future post 3 councilman. So first, I would love to invite Ms. Kathy Smith to the stage from Leadership Johns Creek.
Good evening, everyone. I'm honored to be the first person to speak about Shafiq. I met Shafiq, it's been 10 years, actually, from this month. 10 years ago, I was the executive director of Leadership Johns Creek, and I received an application from this person named Shafiq that I had not met, but I actually have his application here, and I wanted to share a little bit with you. He was graduated from leadership the class of 2015. And one of the questions we asked on the application was about being in a metropolitan area. There are issues, and we asked each applicant to identify 3 problematic issues confronting the Johns Creek and offer solutions just for one of them. So his 3 areas that he was concerned about were community engagement, celebrating cultural diversity, and youth involvement. So the one that he chose to provide a solution for was celebrating cultural diversity. He said Johns Creek is blessed to have the cultural diversity most cities aim for, but I am not sure if we are taking advantage of this community strength. One of the ways to create a pluralistic community is to celebrate cultural diversity, to ignite community creativity, to allow for inclusive growth of Johns Creek. And that was 10 years ago. And I truly feel that Shafiq is still feeling that way, and those are some of the things that he is going to run for city council for. I really like Shafiq, and I'm pleased to and honored to be up here speaking for him. So I wish him the very best.
Let's give another round of applause to our amazing speaker. Now, Ms. Kathy Smith is from the Leadership Johns Creek group, but we know that Shafiq is involved in many other community groups and organizations as well. I would like to now talk about Mr. Cricket himself, but I think there might be someone here that can talk about him a little bit better. So from the Johns Creek Cricket Association, I would now like to bring up Mr. Conrad Rogers.
Knowing Shafiq, I prepared some notes. So as was said, I'm Conrad Rogers. I'm a board member of the Johns Creek Cricket Association, which was founded by Shafiq back in 2020, just as we were coming out of the pandemic. While serving with Shafiq on the Johns Creek Cricket Association, I've seen firsthand his visionary leadership and his deep passion, not just for the sport of cricket, but for the city of Johns Creek and its people. Johns Creek, Shafiq is an inclusive leader who works well with diverse groups of people all across this city and by extension across the metro area and across this country. Shafiq is known as Mr. Cricket, yes, by this community, but not just this community, also the entire metro area and even a part of this large country. Because of his work in the city of Johns Creek, where he advocated for cricket infrastructure at the Shake Rag Park, where we currently have 2 youth-sized cricket fields and 6 batting cages, and the work that he did with the city advocating for a full cricket field with lights to be at the Collie Creek Park, where we also have some batting cages. And because of the numerous tournaments that Shafiq has prepared, participated in, helped organize across not just the metro area, but across this country, Shafiq was inducted into the USA Cricket Hall of Fame in 2022, an honor well deserved. But while working with Shafiq as a board member of the Johns Creek Cricket Association, I learned that Shafiq was also involved in the Johns Creek Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee. And I'm sure that those members that he served with saw his deep commitment to ambitious goals and his 110% 24/7 work ethic and his deep commitment to serve this community, that if they had an opportunity, they would also describe Shafiq not just as Mr. Cricket in Johns Creek, but as Mr. RPAC as well. And then I learned that Shafiq's passion for the city of Johns Creek led him to get involved in the Johns Creek Symphony Orchestra and also in the Arts Center. And I've met some of the people that Shafiq have worked with in those organizations, and I'm sure that they too saw Shafiq's visionary, inclusive leadership and his unique ability to work well with people across all backgrounds. And they too could easily describe Shafiq not just as Mr. Cricket, not just as Mr. RPAC, but also as Mr. Arts Center and Mr. Johns Creek Symphony Orchestra. And then I learned that Shafiq got involved in other things across the city. He became a member of the Johns Creek Public Safety Foundation. And through his leadership as our president at the Johns Creek Cricket Association, he envisioned a tournament that was called Giving Thanks Cricket Tournament. This tournament was played over the Thanksgiving weekend, thus the name Giving Thanks. And the sole purpose of this tournament was to raise funds for the Johns Creek Public Safety Foundation. And in our first tournament that we held, we were able to raise $8,000 for the Public Safety Foundation. And I see Rich in the back, who was privileged to have received that check of $8,000 on our first event. So I ask that we all join together and do as we know Shafiq would do. Do the hard work and help Shafiq to become not just Mr. Cricket, as we in the Johns Creek Cricket Association knows him as, and not just Mr. RPAC, as the people who he served on the RPAC with, or Mr. Art Center, but also as Mr. Johns Creek Council Member for post number 3.
All right, let's give Mr. Conrad another round of applause. I think it's important to point out that one word that we heard multiple times during that speech about Shafiq was passion. Each of us, even as I was talking to you outside, we heard that word repeatedly: passion, passion, passion. Don't we want someone passionate to be on post 3 for Johns Creek City Council? Let me hear you. Let me hear you. Awesome. Well, one thing I need to do, and kids and the young generation need to do more, is play outside. I think the next speaker can talk a little bit more about that and Shafiq's impact while on the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee. Can I have Mr. Anthony Shorter please come to the stage?
Hey, let's make some noise real quick for Shafiq. I have never been so excited about a candidate like I am excited for Shafiq. I don't have to go over his resume and tell you all the things he does here for the city of Johns Creek, because everywhere you go, every event you see, he's front line right there working tirelessly for all of the citizens of Johns Creek. He is consistent, passionate, caring, loving, and supportive. He has supported this community since day one. And so when I first learned of his running for campaign, I immediately said, I'm all in. I called him up and said, buddy, I have never been so excited about a candidate as I am for you. So congratulations. We know that it's going to be a hard job. It's going to be a lot of work, but I have so much confidence that you are the right candidate at the right time and the right moment. Now, for me, as you know, I ran for city council back in 2021, and it's a lot of work, as you're learning, right? But for Shafiq, he has 110% of my support. And I encourage each and every one of you to do the same thing, to support him and find other people to support him. And let's build this man up and let's get him elected to post 3. I had the pleasure of working with him on RPAC. This man showed up on time every time, never missed a meeting, and was always a great contributor to the conversations and the things that were in the best support of Johns Creek. So I'm not going to say much more. I just want you guys to know I'm excited. I want you guys to get excited, and let's make some real noise for the next city councilman of Johns Creek, post 3, Mr. Shafiq.
So the last person I wanted to go after was you, wherever you just were. Thank you very much. Marilyn Margolis, I'm retired, and many of you in this audience know that really isn't true, but I was the first nurse, female CEO of Emory Johns Creek Hospital. Thank you. Thank you. I have one of my surgeons, I say my surgeon because I feel like he is, Dr. Ahad Conrad here to testify that I can be really mean when I have to be, and really nice when I am able to be. And I was always having to be nice to you because you do such great work. So I'd like to say a million things about Shafiq, many of which you all know. One of the things I'll say is this guy is the right guy for the city council for so many reasons. And one of the reasons is he's on the board of the Johns Creek Symphony. He knows all what goes on at the Johns Creek Hospital. He knows about the chamber. He knows about the Rotary. He's very knowledgeable in what happens in the city. And why is that? Because he cares deeply about the city of Johns Creek. And in that way that you can't quantify, but you can see, is the way Shafiq will lead. He will lead as the same way as he is on the board. He's full of ideas. He's able to operationalize those ideas. And he works with all of us. There's many people here from the Arts Collaborative, the Symphony Board, and other people very interested in the community and what's happening in the community. So what Shafiq understands is that we need to vote yes on the Performing Arts Center. I'm sorry, I had to do a small commercial there. Very, very important to the city of Johns Creek that the Performing Arts Center gets a yes from all of you and from the city. The Performing Arts Center is a place where we can gather. It's a place where we can see ballet. It's a place where we can see the symphony. We could get married there if we wanted to. We can have meetings there. I know, I was laughing too. I would never do that again. But there's so many things you can do in this Performing Arts Center. And the people that say you can't, I'm sorry, can I say liars, Arthur? Are liars. And so know that this city has been voted time and time again, #1 city in the country. Why? Because of the arts. There's 3 articles out there right now about the symphony being in the city of Johns Creek because they're so concerned about the arts. And they're concerned about the parks. And they're concerned about the police. And they're concerned about making Johns Creek a place where all of you, the diverse community, can live and can thrive and prosper. And I would go on, but I know somebody's going to get the hook out soon. Thank you all for being here and for listening to why this guy, is that the best shot of anybody you've ever seen in your life, should be the next councilman in Johns Creek. Thank you very much.
All right, let's give one more round of applause for our last speaker. Now, one thing that Shafiq has been telling me a lot about, and something that's near and dear to him, is that even if you vote yes, you can also help fund the public safety of Johns Creek. And I think Dave Rich from the Public Safety Foundation can tell us a little bit more about Shafiq and how public safety is important for this community.
Well. Conrad took a lot of what I was going to say, so thank you, Conrad. No, I have known Shafiq now for probably 5 years, maybe longer than that, and I actually serve on the board of the Johns Creek Cricket Association also. What most of you don't know is that they call me Mr. Century. For those of you who know, will know what that means. Others of you, we can talk about that later. But Shafiq came to me, I guess it was probably 6 years ago. I don't even know that we knew each other much more than in passing, and he said, I would like to give back to the community, and I'd like to do something for the police and the firemen. I said, well, that's great. What do you have in mind? He said, why don't we have a cricket tournament at Thanksgiving? Conrad mentioned it. We'll call it the Giving Thanks Cricket Tournament. And Shafiq organized that on his own. We had teams from all over the metro area come to play cricket and raise money for the Johns Creek Public Safety Foundation. They asked that Anita and I be there on that Sunday afternoon after Thanksgiving to give out the medals and the awards. And I kind of looked over at Anita and I said, you know, if we get $750, it had been well worth it. And I mean that sincerely. And they had one of those big checks, you know, and I couldn't see it, and they turned around and handed it to me. And as Conrad mentioned, that check was for $8,000, and I think at the time was the single largest donation we had ever gotten. So we've run that tournament now for, well, since then. It's been very, very successful. It's growing and it's growing. Cricket has obviously been hugely successful in Johns Creek. But we're here to talk about the Public Safety Foundation for a minute. But that's how we met. And I asked Shafiq to please join the board of the Johns Creek Public Safety Foundation. So for those of you who don't know, we are an old-fashioned benevolence. We cover things for our policemen and policewomen and our firefighters that the city doesn't cover. So for example, it's generally sad things, but I'll talk about the things that everybody oohs and ahs about. We pay all the veterinary bills for the retired police dogs. Right? Everybody oohs and ahs for that. Last year, we gave away 6 college scholarships, 3 to the children of firefighters, 3 to the children of police officers. So we're proud to do that. But mainly what we do is just let our firefighters and our police officers know that there's someone there, covering their back like they cover our backs. I can't talk about a lot of it because they're all personal issues, but examples are, God forbid someone has cancer and they're either having radiation treatments or chemotherapy treatments, and there's nobody there, nobody's going to be at home when the kids come home from school. So we can provide for that. We can provide meals when we have a child in the hospital and mom and dad want to be with them. So these are the type of things we do. We're completely funded by donations. We get no money from the city, we get no money from the county, but we have been blessed by the state of Georgia because they passed a law 3 years ago that any donation to a public safety foundation is a dollar for dollar tax credit. It's not a tax deduction, it's a tax credit. And you don't even have to get the money back from the state. You write your check to the Johns Creek Public Safety Foundation, and we send a notification to the state that you've satisfied your tax liability. So anybody who pays taxes to the state of Georgia is free to write that check to the Johns Creek Public Safety Foundation rather than the state of Georgia. For an individual, the limit is $5,000. For a couple filing jointly, it's $10,000. And a C corporation can donate up to 75% of their Georgia state income tax liability with no limit. No limit. You don't have to be in Johns Creek. I will say this. Last year we got a check for $37,500 from Waffle House. I didn't need any reason to go eat at the Waffle House any more than I do, but it made me feel good. And by the way, that was one of 25 checks they wrote around the state. So that's a way to give to us. But to talk about Shafiq, he and I do not agree. No, I'm being serious now. He and I do not agree on all the issues. And I'm just going to leave it at that, okay? I'm going to be nice tonight. But the thing that is most important to me, and I think should be most important to everybody in this room, is he is a man of integrity. He is a man of conscience. He is a man of reason. He is a man with a huge heart for others. And that to me is priceless. And I mean that sincerely. I've told you this before. I love you like a brother. But that's why Shafiq needs to be there. Integrity, conscience, his heart, and his love for people, and clearly his desire to serve. I mean, I don't know that there's a board he's not on, but this is a fine man, and he deserves your vote. And I think, and you look at as you look at the political climate in this country today, that's what we need. So I urge you to vote for Shafiq, and I'm proud to call him a friend. I truly am, and thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, you guys know the drill. One more round of applause for our amazing speaker. So I want to quickly add some more words to our dictionary for tonight. We've heard passion, service, unity, community. If you guys can just yell out some more words that you just heard from the speakers, please do. Inclusive, integrity, this side. I guess the speakers don't work on that side. I'm joking. No. Yes, ethical, strong-minded, strong-willed, passionate. These are all things that we want in a leader. Now, to be on city council is a big ask, and it's something Shafiq is looking forward to. But I think that hearing from someone who is there right now would also be a great opportunity, not just for us, but for the members of the Johns Creek community. And with that, I would like to welcome Mr. Dilip Tunki to the board. To the stage.
Hello, everyone. When Shafiq asked me, can you say a few words about me? I started thinking, like, how long do I know Shafiq? So even before my political journey started, I've known Shafiq as a friend. We both served on multiple committees representing the city and even the nonprofits. He's the one guy who comes on time, comes prepared for the meeting. He does review all the material before coming in the meeting, and he puts in 100% into that. Any task he takes up, be a board member or a president of an organization, he puts 100% into that. So we served together on Johns Creek Cricket Association, because those were the days that it just got started. So we had to work back and forth to get it off the ground. So he's been there. He has a vision. He sets the goals, and he works for it. Again, one quality that he has is it's very demanding. I started thinking, do we really need someone like that on the council? Again, it can't be any worse than what we currently have. So we definitely can add him. So, on a serious note, Shafiq is someone who puts 100% into the task he takes up. If he believes in something, he pushes for it. And he thinks with the heart. And again, he is someone who has been involved in multiple organizations, multiple areas. So that's what I was, back when I was decided to run for the council, I had a long conversation with Shafiq. So we need someone who can add value from multiple scenarios. Like if there's an issue, we need someone to think from different angles. And for him, being on the Public Safety Foundation, arts, cricket, RPAC, and the Town Center Task Force, he does have various perspectives built into his decision making. He has an open mind before coming into any discussion. So we need someone like that who could definitely add value and keep Johns Creek moving. Johns Creek has been #1 in multiple areas. Getting there is one task, but maintaining there, it's much bigger. So we need someone who is more dedicated, hardworking, and make sure keeps up with the vision of Johns Creek. Thank you, Shafiq, and you will be a value addition to the Johns Creek City Council. Thank you.
All right, let's give one more round of applause to the amazing council member, Mr. Dilip. So before I introduce our next speaker, I want us to get a little bit more excited, because you don't know who this next speaker is, but I promise you, it's someone that you all support and that you're here at dinner time on a Monday, Tuesday, to support. It's someone who I've got to know very well, someone who cares about the youth and the old, who has passion and ambition, who unifies and makes sure he does it with an open mind, open heart, and open shoulder for people to just come to and vent to. That's who we want in City Council. Isn't that right? So Next to the stage, I would like to welcome Mr. Candidate, Shafiq Jadavji.
All right, how is everyone doing tonight? Come on, you could be doing better. I know we can be more excited. I know a lot of work needs to be done, but I learned one thing in life. Never shy away from doing good work. Never shy away from making good trouble. More importantly, never shy away from having fun, all right? So I want our journey to be exciting, fun, and more importantly, purpose-driven. When we get together on November 4th, we will have a celebration party. Are we together in this? All right? So first and foremost, I want to say thank you to all the speakers. More importantly, there are a lot of good friends who are here, all of you. From the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being part of my journey. Thank you for sharing your love with me. Thank you for giving me aspiration and inspiration. I spoke to my mom this morning, right? My mom lives in San Antonio. Unfortunately, she has medical situations where she cannot travel often. And we speak a dialect called Kachi. So I was born in a country called Tanzania, East Africa. So there's a dialect called Kachi. So I said, Mama ji hi karato, and I'll translate that. And her response was, Vyadinakar bodotemino, meaning, today I'm getting together with friends and loved ones to get serious about this campaign. And her response was, don't worry, he'll take care of you, all right? And that's my belief. I think all of us are born with a purpose. All of us have our own journeys. I've been just blessed that I've been involved in all different areas. And I have the passion to remain involved. I'm a firm believer that I will do a damn good job as your post-3 council person. Right? And I don't say this with light heart. I say this because I've been fortunate to serve this community over the last 10 years. All right? Yes, I am running against an incumbent, but that's okay. That's fun. He may have 4 years of experience, and we know what he has done during those 4 years. I got 10 years of experience, all right? So let's be ambitious, all right? My slogan for this campaign is let's be ambitious, and here are some of the things I'm extremely ambitious about, all right? First and foremost, as we all know, Johns Creek is a wonderful community, right? It's, as Dilip mentioned, it's number 1, but it's very difficult to remain number 1, right? In anything in life. I think some of the things we can be working on, and those are the goals that I have, we need to be a little more business friendlier in this community, all right? Because I think there's an opportunity, especially with the Medley coming up, and those of you who do not know the Medley project, the developer that built the Avalon, that has been one of the most successful projects in the country, is building in Johns Creek, next to City Hall, a project called Medley, 43 acres, mixed use. You're gonna have, similar to Avalon, you're gonna have apartments, you're gonna have homes, you're gonna have a boutique hotel, you're gonna have Trader Joe's, right? Behind City Hall, we're building a park called the Boardwalk at Town Center. That park is a 27-acre park, has a wonderful pond. It's gonna have outdoor amphitheater. It's gonna have a 15 feet wide trail that's gonna go across to 141. There is a tunnel that is going to be built. So if you're on the Dunkin' Donuts side of 141, you can just walk. You want to rollerblade? I'll get my rollerblades out for you, all right? All these things are economic development, right? And I want us to continue down that journey because it is important for us to have a vibrant community. Marilyn spoke about the Performing Arts Center. Am I in support for it? You bet, all right? Because this is not a want. The Performing Arts Center is a need for our community, for our youth, for our diverse citizenship that we have, because we need a place of gathering. It's not just about the symphony. I know there's a lot of talk that has gone out, hey, this facility is built for a small group of people. My humble request would be, you've been handed out this Say Yes. There's a website. Learn more about the facts. I am absolutely in favor of the Performing Arts Center because I believe it's going to create economic development, it's going to bring our youth together, it's going to allow us to celebrate different cultures, and more importantly, it's going to have a destination location that we can call home. You know where the location that has been identified for this potential Performing Arts Center? Right next to the medley, right across from City Hall. So just imagine, you can go have a dinner at the medley, go watch a concert, come out. You had a little bit of too much to eat and you want to walk because you sat for an hour and a half, there's a park across the street that you can walk. So fortunately, we have opportunities. So I'm all for the growth of our business community. I'm all for economic development. Now, economic development also means responsible development, right? Dave Rich spoke about our police and fire. I've been a member of the Johns Creek Public Safety Foundation. I've graduated from the police academy, Citizens Police Academy and all that. We know we will need to continue to invest in our police department, in our fire department, because as we grow as a city, we will need more people, right? It's not a rocket science for someone to figure out. But that doesn't mean that we cannot grow our city responsibly and also take care of our safety and security by investing in our police department and investing in our fire department. So I want you to learn more about why this Performing Arts Center is an important element of this. I have always been about youth, all right? And it brings joy to me when I go to Shake Rack Park or I go to Collie Creek Park and I see all these youth playing cricket. I remember 2014, the first time I spoke to the council and said we should invest in cricket. And they're like, what is cricket? Right? Is that the thing you hit on the ground, croquet, right? But it's a joy in my heart that, 12 years later, Johns Creek is the only city in the country that has 7 days of youth cricket in a public park, all right? And it's just a sport. My thought process was, hey, we want to engage our youth. The reason why I said on RPAC and as recently as a chair of RPAC, I want to continue to promote youth development through sports and other activities. I think sports, arts, not only create opportunities for our youth, but they help them become future leaders, right? So I just want us to keep a few things in mind. We can build a Performing Arts Center. We can remain to be the safest city. We can create economic development. We can continue to grow our recs and parks to have a good quality of life. It's all about good quality of life. It's not about dollars and cents, all right? When we feel good about our quality of life, I promise you, our stress level subsides. We have many doctors in this room. You want to be happy in life? Don't let this get to you, right? And I want to do everything possible to continue to enhance our quality of life. But this will take courage. And that courage is all of you here today. I need help. I cannot get elected by myself. I need each and every one of you to think about why you want to support Shafiq. If your why is something that you can live with, and that creates passion in your heart, and creates excitement to do the heavy lifting, then the bus is empty. Come on board, all right? So we want your support. We are looking for volunteers. Running a campaign is never cheap. Do we need to spend money? Yes. Will we spend money? Absolutely. Will we be wise about it? You bet. Money doesn't grow on the trees, right? So we will do things wisely, but we need people who can come out and contribute. We need people, and I've told my campaign people, if we do not engage our youth in this journey, shoot me, right? Because how can I be talking about youth engagement and all these things if we cannot help those young leaders experience it firsthand? What does it mean to run for an elected office? So I encourage you, you have youth in your family, please, please allow us to engage them in this journey, all right? One promise we will make, and one promise I will personally make, they will walk away with a sense of satisfaction and have some fun in the process. That's a promise I'll make. So my humble request to all of us today, let's get excited, all right? It takes, like the saying goes, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes Johns Creek to get Shafiq elected to post 3. So I look forward to your support, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you.
All right. Let's give one more round of applause for Mr. Shafiq Jadavji. All right. Who's excited? Who's excited? I'm one of those youth volunteers that Shafiq got engaged in. It's hard for me to sleep knowing that Johns Creek can be better, and we have to wait all the way till November to elect him. So, there's early voting. Yes, that's correct. On your tables, there's 3 QR codes. It begins with everyone in here. We're all the seeds to make the change in the Johns Creek community. So let's go get active. Let's go bring diversity to this community. And lastly, let's be ambitious. Thank you. Oh, there's free t-shirts outside. Make sure you grab some. There's also flyers and yard signs.
Hi, my name is Nuruddin Pajwani. I know Shafiq for a very long time. I met him about 15 years ago, and I worked with him in a community project. And I found him, even back then, how professional he was. He came very prepared, and he asked a lot of questions and a lot of good questions. What I gathered from that is that Shafiq had compassion and professionalism with what he wanted to serve. And also what I found out is his thoughtfulness, his depth. He was very deep in his discussions and ideas and expressing himself. And above all, he was very caring. He was very caring about the issues, and he was very caring about people around him. And so I really find him a very valuable person, and I believe he would serve very well in any organization, but particularly for such a position as a city councilman, he would do amazing work for the community in which he is going to work, and I have my full support for him. And I hope, Shafiq, I wish you very well, and I hope all my friends will support Shafiq for this position. Thank you.
Good evening. It's so nice of you to join us after we just went through the most exhilarating gathering for Shafiq, who's running for the Johns Creek Council, Post 3. Yay, Shafiq.
Yay, Shafiq. We love Shafiq.
We all support him in this diverse city full of culture and the arts, parks, great schools, #1 city 3 years in a row with the great mayor, John Bradbury. We are so glad to be able to support Shafiq, and we all want to say, go Shafiq! Yay!
One more time. Look right here. Let's look right here for the picture. Let's go. Hold on. There's more coming. All right, look right here.
Let's go. All right, everybody.
Everybody resign.
All right, resign. Let's go. Let's go.
Alrighty. Can we make some noise for video, please? On 3,
right.
Let's make some noise for video.
Let's
3,
go. Are we
2,
gonna win?
and 5.
I don't hear it loud enough. Are we gonna win?
Hey, good afternoon. It gives me great pleasure to be able to stand here tonight and support my friend Shafiq. Shafiq is exactly what Johns Creek needs. I had the pleasure of working with him on the Johns Creek Park and Recreation Committee, and I've seen him throughout the 14 years of me living here as well as him living here, being a strong advocate for Johns Creek, for the Department of Arts, for sports. So it is indeed a pleasure to be here tonight to support him and wish him all the well as our next city councilman for the city of Johns Creek.
Hi, good evening. I would like to tell you how much I am in support of Shafiq for the office of City Council. Shafiq is an amazing person. He has been in Johns Creek for quite some time, and he has put so much effort into so many committees, and he's a man true to his word. This is the kind of individual with integrity, ambition that we absolutely need on our City Council. I see Shafiq as a visionary. We are the #1 city, as far as I'm concerned, the most livable city in the United States. Shafiq is going to help us keep that. He understands what we need, and I trust him implicitly. So please, thank you.